Big night in the Champions League. 5 of the 6 teams, English teams, made it through to the knockout phase automatically. Arsenal finished top with a 3-2 win over Kairat. That means they won 8 from 8. Liverpool thrashed Karabakh 6-0. Chelsea won away 3-2 at Napoli. A couple of cracking goals there. Manchester City sneaked in, finishing 8th with a 2-0 home win over Galatasaray. Tottenham secured their place with a 2-0 away win at Frankfurt. Newcastle got a 1-1 draw at defending champions PSG. That gives them a chance of progressing through the playoffs. Let's speak to a couple of friends of the show. Newcastle fan Jamie Smith from the Mag fanzine and Tottenham fan Chris Cowlin. Morning both.
Morning, mate.
Bonjour.
I'm going to start with you. Very nice. Start with you, Chris. Into the last 16, and Tottenham. I mean, Tottenham look good in Europe. It's sort of baffling.
It's amazing. Yeah, as you say, we're above Real Madrid and PSG in the Champions League. We're sitting 14th in the Premier League, 3 points above 17th. So, but no, last night it was a really solid professional performance from Thomas Frank's team, and they're completely in control of the game, and it was a really, really good performance. And when you look at how many outfield players we actually had available, it was only 12, and we got the job done. And as I say, completely in control. And what a record it is in the Champions League this season compared to the Premier League. But we've got to take this type of form now into the Premier League and climb up that table. But I'm absolutely delighted that we're in the last 16.
And specifically, they need to take that form to their home games domestically, because that's the other great sort of dichotomy in Spurs is actually pretty good away from home and then terrible at home. And I don't think anyone can quite understand it.
That's the other thing as well. We've got an absolutely fantastic home record in the in European competition. Last lost at home in 2020. And then, yeah, as you say, the home form in the Premier League is absolutely abysmal. And it's weird because, it's so nice to see the scenes at the end of the game, Thomas Frank being applauded by the Spurs fans and vice versa.
Yeah.
And, the scenes at Burnley at the weekend were very, very different. So, the Premier League and the Champions League at the moment for Tottenham, it's like chalk and cheese.
Yeah. Could a decent run in the Champions League, and I'm not saying win it, but, getting to the quarters, maybe even sneaking through to the semis or something, could that be enough to keep Thomas Frank in a job, do you think?
I think the domestic form is really, really important. Ange Postecoglou certainly found that out last season, winning the Europa League and then finishing 17th, 22 league defeats, then getting the sack at the end of the season. But the league,
but he did get to the end of the season, though, Ange, didn't he?
Of course he did, yeah. But he put all the eggs in the basket of the Europa League, and rightly so in the end. But the league form has definitely got to be better. The performances have to be better. And like you said, it's so weird how Champions League performances are so different to the Premier League performances. But in Feb coming up, we've got Man City at home, Man United away, Newcastle at home, Arsenal at home, 4 very, very tough fixtures. So, we have to get points because we certainly don't want to be dragged into a relegation fight.
Jamie, I think, he would obviously have wanted to qualify automatically with a win, but it was a really good performance from Newcastle against a strong PSG side, and Newcastle were really up against it in the first phase of the game, and then that Nick Pope penalty save felt crucial.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a little bit of a strange day yesterday because we had a cancelled flight, so we had a bit of a Top Gear challenge getting here, involving 4 countries and a lot of airports.
Oh, man.
And we were here, we made it here just in time to hear the Champions League music. And then within a minute
that must have
or two,
felt good, Jamie.
Oh, yeah. We were really congratulating ourselves. And then next thing we know, the referee's going over for a VAR review and we're facing the penalty. And we thought we might as well not have bothered. But and then you get that thing where Pope's save might have acted as a bit of a fillip, but like you said, we were pretty awful after that as well, and could have been a couple behind, but the way they recovered was just really brilliant. As you said, we started the day in the automatic places, but ahead of this campaign, we would absolutely have taken the playoff with a very good chance of progressing. We've got far too many matches to play in the weeks ahead, but this is what we wanted when we had years and years of no ambition, and now we're going for it on forefront. So it was a brilliant night here, and we really enjoyed it.
And actually, I mean, it probably would have been unfair on PSG, but you came really close to winning it at the end. Harvey Barnes will be disappointed.
Yeah, I haven't seen that back on TV, but
it's a good chance. I mean, not an easy chance, but
yeah, and it looked like he banjoed himself on the post as well for good measure. But
never what you want.
But it was, to go there and beat the European champions was always a tall order. We knew we had to do that to go through automatically. And there would have been some scenes if he had to put that in. But the draw was very respectable.
Jamie, can I just ask, sorry to interrupt, can you just talk me through your journey there yesterday then, just bit by bit?
Well, to save a few shekels, we went via Schiphol because you can fly direct from Newcastle, but that books up pretty quick. So we got to Schiphol, no problem, and then our connecting flight to Paris was cancelled. And they wanted to put us on a 7:30 flight, which would have meant we basically travelled while the game was on the go. So much begging, persuading and charming went on. And we ended up transferring via Zurich. And it was one of those things where we had about 4 different connections, planes, trains and automobiles. And if one of them had fallen over, that was the whole business.
So wait, so you flew from Schiphol to Zurich?
Yeah.
And then what happened then?
And then we had about 20 minutes to leg it to a flight to Paris, which we made.
Right.
And we're sort of sitting up front telling the pilot to put his foot down because we had to get the train and then the Paris metro. And then we had to just find somewhere to ditch our bags in a sort of on-street locker and then get a taxi to the game. And the taxi ride was something special. It was I think we got the French version of Steve McQueen taking us to the ground. It was outstanding. And as I say, it's not even an exaggeration or a cliche, but we sprinted into the ground just as the teams were lining up and the Champions League music was playing.
It's just
so
glorious,
exciting,
Jamie.
so exhilarating.
I'm going to have a quiet day today around Paris.
Yeah. Yeah. Take your foot off the gas for a little bit. Well, listen, glad you enjoyed it and nice speaking to you both. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye.
Newcastle fan Jamie Smith, Tottenham fan Chris Cowlin. Lots more reaction on the 5 Live Football Daily podcast. Nice text here that I just want to read out.
Just on that, if you're one of those people like me who tends to be late for stuff.
Put your foot down, pilot.
Yeah, because I don't ever really give myself enough time, which is probably really annoying for everyone else in my life. But
I'm the same. I'm an optimist.
Yeah.
If everything goes well, I'll make this in time.
It's so fun. It's so brilliant. So fair play to Jamie and his mates.
Yeah, I don't think he would describe it as working per se there, but yeah. We are going to be talking to a guy who is on the doom